Hey folks, welcome back to Pokemon White version 2. In the last episode, we got our first gym badge in a dramatic, super amazing, really difficult, no, it was totally easy. It was a battle with Charon. And in this episode, we are heading off to the next town for our next badge, and Bianca apparently forgot to upgrade our Pokedex. She was standing right there in front of us, and she talked to the lady who made the Pokedex for this region. She totally forgot to update it. I don't want to hear your explanation again. And so she kind of points out that sometimes we'll see rustling grass, and when you see rustling grass, you should actually step in it, because it's either a really rare Pokemon for that route, or it is a Audino, which Audino give crazy wicked amounts of experience. And I just fell into the grass twice there. But yeah, Audino give wicked crazy amounts of experience just for beating them. They're also really... If you want a really good Pokemon that's a normal type, I totally recommend Audino, actually. I once caught a shiny one. Just randomly, I was grinding levels off Audino, and I found a shiny one. Talked to Vitamin Datai on Twitter. I was like, hey, should I kill this, or should I keep it? And it was a very tough decision, because shinies also give really good experience. So I was like, double experience, you know, awesome. Ended up catching it. It ended up wrecking the Elite Four. So, if you don't want to take my advice on it, don't. But hey, Audino, wicked powerful. And this guy's copying our style with a Riolu, but ours has really special abilities, like Return. And we don't want to kill you syndrome. That thing really likes to use Endure. Endure leaves you always with one hit point regardless. Like if an attack is going to one-hit KO you, it will leave you with one hit point. If it's super effective, it'll leave you with one hit point if it's supposed to take all your health away. There's an ability called Sturdy out here now that in this generation does the same thing. And so it's just... I personally hate Sturdy because it's a built-in Endure. Endure is something a Pokemon has to think to use. So that's my opinion. I don't like to use Endure. People can if they want. I went ahead and taught Riolu workup because who doesn't want a boost in their stats? Riolu obviously does. He wants the boost so bad. I know I had a few people actually thinking I would catch a Psyduck in Flossy Ranch instead of Riolu. I was thinking about it, but the water type I'm really wanting to use, definitely better than Psyduck on so many levels. Just the sheer number of different attacks that it can learn totally makes this water type perfect. But I will not be getting him, oh god, for quite a while, and I hate it because I really want a water type. Water type are actually probably some of my most favorite. Aside from, I like Bug a lot. Venonat and Venomoth, badass. I think maybe if I had to, thinking about it now, because I like the Grimer family line, I like the Nidos, and I like Venonat and Venomoth. I think that means I like Poison type a lot more. Poison is really cool. Grimer and Muck are just amazing. If there could be a Venonat and Venomoth in this game, I'd catch them. Totally catch them. So totally would catch me. You hear that, Game Freak? Put Venonat and Venomoth in more things, because I would totally catch that. Chiren gives us Pecha Berries, tells us about Darker Grass, which is more, you have a chance to encounter a double battle in Darker Grass. Maybe I can find something to show it off, probably not. But Chiren gives us Pecha Berries as well, which those berries cure poison if held. So if that gives you a little indicator about what's coming up, yeah, he says we'll need them, you need them. I mean, I think I got through pretty decently in the past, but you never know. There's a lot of toddlers on this route. I don't really understand why. This is like Toddler Central. There's a preschool teacher around here too. Oh, this one has a Lillipup. I think we've learned how to handle Lillipup by now. If we haven't, we still don't have a good fighting type move that we can just use. We're getting there. But for right now, work up and what is it? Work up and return should be a pretty decent combination attack. And return can only get better as Ryobu loves us more and more. But times like that when it just leaves him with a sliver of health makes me think that he doesn't love me enough. So I gotta work on that. I kind of feel bad taking the money from the preschoolers. I mean, regardless of it, whether it's the 40 polka dollars or 100, I just feel terrible about it. Because it's like, they could have used that money to get their milk at school. And as someone who loved milk, I'm lactose intolerant now, so I can't have it, but as someone who loved milk, I know how that milk money must be so important to them. We're just taking their milk money. It makes me feel terrible inside. Anyway, that's a bird. Great commentary today, folks. So there's an item in another trainer battle over on the left. To the right is Virbank City, and the double battle with, I don't think these are preschoolers, I think these are twins. Leah and Lily. And they both have a Sunkern. Yay, Sunkern! And Patrat accidentally gets a few experience from this fight. Totally on accident, I forgot to switch Macho up in front. Macho, macho pig. I wanna be a macho pig. I really miss that song. I don't remember where I heard it. Macho Man, not Macho Pig. It's Macho Man, the song, and I like it. It makes me feel so pumped up to do nothing. Might have to listen to that after this. Anyway, yeah, Sunkern. Probably some of the worst grass types ever invented. Unless you're Vitamin Datai, who used one in his Black 2 blind stream. He totally pulled off the Sunflora, which was, in the end, totally badass. I've tried using one in Crystal. They have okay special attack, but they're just slow. They can take some hits too, but they're slow. They're so slow. It's the hardest thing in the world. This lady gives us free great balls. That's great. Oh yeah. So now we're in really? In the middle of my commentary. What, Mom? No, I've not been to the Virbank Complex yet. Yeah, yes, I figured I could train my Pokemon there. Yes, okay. Thank you. So anyway, speaking of parents, this is Roxy, the gym leader for this town, and her father, the ship's captain. And they're having an argument because he wants to go chase his quote-unquote dream of being a professional actor, and she just wants him to do his job. She gets angry, and very, she uses alliteration a lot in that sentence, a lot of d sound. And she goes back to the gym. We could challenge her right now if we wanted, but I think I'm gonna go heal. And now we're going to go challenge the Virbank Complex. Depending on your game depending on the game, Black 2 and White 2, one of them will have Magby, one of them will have Elekid's. The real point of this is just training, but there's also this guy who gives you a kind of little job. You have to go fight the 3 workmen in this place and get them to, go back to work, and he will give you the TM for Rock Smash if you do. So it's a fighting move for Riolu. It helps break rocks. It's also just great experience, and you can justify it. Lots of Lillipups in this area, though. They're just everywhere. Everyone uses Lillipup, and I don't think I've ever used a Lillipup. I've used a Purloin before. Purloin, yeah, I've used Purloin. Lillipup just seems like one of those Pokemon that is overused, and I didn't want to. Nothing against it. Again, like, whenever I give my opinion on a Pokemon, it's not that I don't like it, it's just that I don't... My opinion is that I want to use things that are underused a lot more often. Speaking of things that I want to use, guess we just ran into our next team member. Growlithe the Fire type. And for those of you who are maybe just are new to this series on this episode, yes, I have a Tepig. No, I'm not going to use it. Why? Because I like Growlithe a lot more. Growlithe are just amazing. And Arcanine. Arcanine are just awesome. It's harder to get the evolution for Growlithe because you have to rely on a stone. But, you know. Actually, you don't know. What I was going to say is, but I like Growlithe. Growlithe and Arcanine have always been a really cool fire type to me. They're better than the starter most of the time. A lot of people will challenge me on that, saying, oh, Infernape is the best, or Blaziken. No. Charizard is my favorite fire starter. Typhlosion is an easy second. But once they added fighting to every freaking evolution, Blaziken is part fighting, Infernape is part fighting. Emboar is part fighting. Why does everything have to be part fighting? Like, Grass has gotten some of the best evolutions. Grass Poison, Grass. Meganium is kind of a derp, though. Grass Ground for Torterra. What is it? There's just Grass for Superior. Sceptile is just Grass. Water has just Water for Blastoise and for Alligator. Water Ground for Swampert. Water Steel for Empoleon. That's cool. And then Water in this generation, too, I think. Trying to remember. Yeah, just Water. So, in my opinion, not everything has to be a dual type. Not everything has to be, you know, super powerful. The things that are the least powerful are the ones that will surprise you the most. And I think that might be the theme of this run. But I'm going to run back to the Pokemon Center real quick and heal everyone up. That was actually quicker than I anticipated. So, we still have those 3 guys to find. And the gimmick of this area is that there's a lot of those little walkways that you have to go across, and you can go really slow, but if you stop, you wobble and you'll probably fall off. There's a lot more of those kinds of areas in this game. They're pretty cool. It's like the Mach and Acrobike areas from Pokemon Emerald, except those you have to have a specific bike. These you can just run across and have the ability to fall off of. I don't remember if I've ever brought it up before. Oh, we got Force Palm off screen on accident. But Bide is a dangerous move if you don't one-hit KO things like Orion does. Yes, there's an Elekid. Pre-evolved form of Electabuzz, first stage of the Electivire family line. I like them. I really like Magmar, that family, and the Electabuzz family really well. They're cool. I feel like Jinx kind of got screwed out. Jinx got a baby evolution at the same time, but totally didn't get a final or a 3rd stage evolution at the same time, which I thought was just a little unfair. Maybe a lot unfair. Who knows? Maybe in X and Y we'll get one. But this Elekid is actually proving to be pretty tough with a Thunder Shock and Swift. Swift being the star move that never misses. But Pietro comes out on top. And yes, that is how you pronounce his name, Pietro. I was definitely not reading Marvel Comics when that name came to me. And I definitely wasn't thinking about the new Quicksilver that they're going to put in the X-Men and Avengers 2 movies. Totally wasn't that. Here's our second worker. You know, kind of follows the same line. He has a Magby though, so hey, you're getting both of them in one video. Congrats. Hopefully this Magby doesn't have Flame Body. I forget what some Pokemon's abilities are. And we're just lucky enough to get poisoned. I hate poison. I love poison as a technique. I just hate it at this point. Yes, we get now a coughing. Coughing. That was probably the worst impression of coughing I could have ever done. But we bring Pietro back out. Hopefully we can prey on its weakness of special defense. We can, surprisingly. But I'm not going to risk it. I'm actually going to go for the heal and make sure that Pietro can get a little more experience because he's a little behind in terms of... Oh, poison gas. Crap. Poison gas is an insta-poison if it hits. But Pietro's a little behind in terms of Orion, and levels. So I want to get Pietro as much experience as he can get. Gonna probably use him against the gym leader because there are a few Pokemon that she has that he can do just great against. And he'll do great against the third gym leader as well. But we'll get to that in a couple episodes. And gonna quickly get that poison off. One thing I forgot though is that in this generation, if you walk, poison doesn't activate when you're walking. It's only an in-battle status effect now, which is pretty cool. Because I remember that being one of the most annoying things, walking in your Pokemon feigning. And then they introduced in like Heart Gold, Soul Silver that the Pokemon survived the poisoning, which was really, really nice. And now apparently it just doesn't affect you outside battle at all, which I'll admit I kind of miss. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. But I'm glad because it messes up the screen every time you take a step. Good lord, Patrats everywhere. There's so many Patrat. But Riolu has a easy way to take care of those things now, and that, like I've said before, is Force Palm. Force Palm also has a secondary effect, actually it's an effect, like 30%, 40% paralysis chance, so that's cool. Yes, that's actually true. I'm glad you think that. And switch Pietro with Orion, and we're going to take on the last of these lame trainers that aren't doing their work. Dude, if every day's the same and it doesn't change, you just gotta go out and live your life, man. Oh, you're using a Riolu too? Well, I take back everything I said. You can just suffer here at the Virbank Complex. I'm really not this mean. These guys just wear on your sanity when you have to when you're required to do fights. Again though, I wasn't required to do this area. I see it as a great opportunity to get some training in and show you guys what my team is capable of in a rather long episode format. They really won't be this long in the future, I promise. Maybe the Elite Four, but I'll try and cut those down. Anyway, that's a long ways off. Right now, more Lillipup action. And that was Lillipup. Oh no, it's still alive. Crap. And it critical hitted Pietro. Son of a gun. You couldn't just not critical, or you couldn't just lose all your HP. You had to critical with that little help. That's just a kick in the pants right there. But with that, that is our third worker. We can go collect our wonderful prize and quickly go heal and then challenge the Virbank Gym in that order. But the Virbank Gym will be next episode, so like I said, next episode we tackle the Virbank City Gym, and I will see you guys then.